Visit OnTableTop.com and comment on all 3 days of the Flames of War Bootcamp to be in with a chance of winning one of 3 Flames of War bundles.
Okay, folks, we're back here at the Flames of War Bootcamp, and we're about 6 o'clock in the evening now, so we've been playing for most of the day. People are starting to get to grips with the rules, and as you can see, we've still got people playing away, including people just starting into the game with the actual box sets that we've given out. On some of the tables, we've got people like Captain Alpha Strike with his Russians. And we've even got some of the people who started playing yesterday with me have started to buy additional stuff like tigers and fireflies. So they're really starting to build on the basics that they've already learned. And they've really started to pick up the game quite quickly because it's fairly easy to get into and have been having a lot of fun. Now, we do have a game that's just finished playing, which is Commodore Rob and Warren. So if you want to come up here, we can have a quick chat with them and see how they've actually found playing their first game of Flames of War 4. So, how did it go and how did you get on?
It went exceptionally well. I've enjoyed it. Myself and Rob have got our heads around the basic rules. We have discovered that there is a, on the Flames of War site, we'll put a link to this, on the Flames of War site, there is a summary sheet, quick reference sheet, which we're using now religiously, just to take us, give us a bit of flowcharty goodness as we work through. It looks like a lot on it, but it's really not. It's like movement, shooting, assault. Movement, shooting, assault.
Yeah, if you're not doing a phase, you don't have to worry about the box that's contained there.
When you're in the phase, it's more just to make sure that whenever you a tank is shooting a tank or whatever, that you're just going through the right steps. So about the game though, the game was fabulous. So what we found was it was very cinematic. The tanks obviously were sticking to clear paths, so you found the tanks actually following the shape of the terrain and stuff that we had set up, because they didn't want to get bogged down and we didn't want to be bothered with that. But the infantry were able to run over stuff and move around and had all that agility. It was really cool doing that. We've played with smoke. Rob popped smoke. I've had the worst luck with Panzerfausts and Panzerschrecks. They've just been pinging off tanks left, right and centre, not doing anything. I thought I had taken an early lead in it when I took out a couple of the Shermans, and then Rob played this expert move on me and took out my entire group of Panzer IVs in one go. So much so, we made him replay it twice.
That's very harsh. The poor fella's here trying to learn, and you won't accept that he's just killed you twice.
Oh, no, it wasn't like that. What we did was we played it twice. The first result stuck. We played it again a couple of times just to get our head around the steps, because it really was a case of, oh my goodness, that was masterful. He took it out. I thought, that's it, game over, because all I had left was a couple of squishy units and my 2 Pack 40s, that suddenly everything that he had was out of sight of my Pack 40s. They had no dominance, no presence on the table whatsoever. And then he moved his infantry towards the objective.
Tactical genius.
Yes. And I'll let Rob explain his tactical genius from this point forward.
So Rob, your tactical genius then, you had the central objective that you were going for and you pushed people in towards it?
I was blinkered in what I was objecting. I completely didn't see the other unit that was within range over the other side. So that was my failure. I didn't realise I was going to be sandwiched between 2 infantry.
So you walked into the middle of a massive fire alley?
It wasn't. I didn't walk into it. The fire rally came afterwards. After he leapt over the buildings in a single bound, like super beings or whatever. They must be
Super sausages.
Yeah, super sausages. But yeah.
So my Panzer Grenadier platoons had their bratwursts early in the day, were full of energy, and it was really interesting at this point, because then we finally had flesh-on-flesh action between me and Rob. I'd been looking forward to it all day. I'd had a sleep. I'd come back refreshed, and we got our flesh-on-flesh. And it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. He played the beer. So I brought the two teams in close range, and basically it was a classic outflank. Just flanked them on one side, completely open, no cover, and then I went in and it was a massacre on 3+.
Machine guns on infantry in the open, they were always going to tear them apart. So that pretty much wrapped it up for a German victory, but Rob did get a little bit of payback right at the very end with this line of Sherman 76s and 75s, and there should actually just be a massive bloodstain against this wall where the remnants of Warren's command HQ was.
I was trying to complete my hidden objective of set up a forward HQ, so I ran my HQ unit to try and get him into a building. They got caught up against the wall by 4 Shermans. They tried to surrender. Rob was having none of it.
No, because he had his own objective, which was to knock out the enemy's command structure. And so when the HQ were there, he just ripped into them. So it looks like you at least are enjoying yourself, Warren.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good fun. It is good fun. I'm enjoying the cinematics of it. Just the getting down. There's so much going on. That 15mm scale just increases the amount that's going on. In different locations, you have to have a much wider awareness of what's happening elsewhere. At least for me, anyway. It's a step up or two from some board games we've played recently. So
it's good to hear. So we're just scraping the surface of what you can get into with Flames of War. We'll be back with more videos over the rest of the weekend. If you fancy winning prizes, I'm sure there's some sort of doobly-doo below to comment in. So we'll speak to you again soon.
Visit OnTableTop.com and comment on all 3 days of the Flames of War bootcamp to be in with a chance of winning one of 3 Flames of War bundles.